Like many manufacturers, the future of Cadillac is all electric, and this vehicle right here is the first pure EV for the American luxury brand, previewing their future with a full electric portfolio. This is the 2023 Cadillac LYRIQ, and we're out in Park City, Utah today doing the first drive, and we're going to do a quick review of this new LYRIQ. The LYRIQ is built off of GM's modular electric vehicle platform, Ultium. So this is shared with the GMC Hummer, which we got to drive, the electric super truck. But a big difference is this has 12 of the modules, which is half of the Hummer, because this is not the size of a small apartment building, which the Hummer is. Completely different use cases. But it's really cool seeing and learning about how this modular technology can apply to a whole range of vehicles. So with these 12 modules in the LYRIQ, the rear-wheel drive version here, will do 312 miles of pure electric range on a charge. On DC fast charging, it can replenish up to 76 miles in as little as 10 minutes. In terms of power, this is the rear-wheel drive only model, so 340 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque. Again, that's quite a different number from what the Hummer EV produces, but again, it's a different usage of the Ultium modular platform. There will be an all-wheel drive model coming with another drive motor on the front, which would then make close to 500 horsepower is what we were told. So that'll be really cool. But today, with the debut edition, rear-wheel drive at launch. In terms of exterior styling, this also previews the new face of Cadillac, and it's really cool. It effectively took a concept car and translated it into production. The new front end really focuses on those vertical lighting elements, the signature styling of Cadillac, but then updates it. The light show that this thing puts on at night is phenomenal. The way the little headlights kind of fill in there, the grille lights up, or I guess I call it a grille, the front fascia element. It doesn't need airflow like an internal combustion engine, but the lighting is really, really cool. Coming around to the side, we've got filled in door handles here where you just push the door handle thing and it pops out and you open it with this little handle on the door here. That's the front driver door. The back passenger one here, it pops out and you just grab it and open it up. Coming around back at this really cool angular kind of boomerang shaped lighting elements, massive turn signals. And you're never gonna miss that this thing is indicating it needs to turn because it's just like top and bottom and side, which is really cool. Really angled, sporty roofline too. Overall, this previews the future of Cadillac design language. I think it's really eye-catching. It really turns heads here driving around all over Park City, Utah. It's gotten a lot of attention. I think it looks really cool too. With that, let's hop inside. We're going to take it for a drive, talk about the interior, what is it like to drive, and lastly, the value. We are now inside the LYRIQ on the road, and let's start off with talking about the interior, which is one of my favorite parts of the new LYRIQ. They did a fantastic job with it, mainly because Cadillac fully committed to not making the LYRIQ a parts bin special. Yes, no components, nothing you touch, you feel, interact with, you see inside here is shared with the rest of the GM family. It's an unfortunate reality, right? With mass manufacturing, large-scale vehicle manufacturers, you end up sharing components, but nothing ruins a luxury car experience by looking at a button being like, oh, that's the same button as in a Chevy Cruze. But not in the LYRIQ. Everything is special and bespoke. Everything from the air vent knobs to this multi-function rotary dial here in the middle. Everything is now special to Cadillac, and it shows. It's very nice. A couple other highlights of the interior. One of my favorite things, and one of the most innovative things I've seen on an interior, is this wood trim pattern here. So we have actual wood where you can feel the grain. And then what they do is they laser cut this wood. They make two passes with really intricate detailed design you'll see here on the door. And then behind that, there is a super thin piece of metal. So during the day, you can actually see the metal behind this wood pattern here. But then at night, the ambient lighting shines through that. It's thin enough where you can have the ambient lighting, all the different colors. It is fantastic. And that's really what makes a luxury car special, because beyond utility, you have to add these special things that borderline push it beyond just regular utility and actual vehicle use. It's what makes it special, and that definitely accomplishes it. The other showcase centerpiece of this interior is this curved 33-inch LCD screen that just dominates the interior, and in a good way. It's designed around it. It wasn't like an afterthought. They go, oh, we need to put a huge screen in here. Let's just drop it on there. It's very well integrated. It flows with the cabin nicely. and it fills out the interior. There's a touchscreen on the left, a touchscreen on the right for your CarPlay, all your infotainment controls. You can have all sorts of control over things like your drive modes, your one pedal drive, opening the glove box. Very nice. Integrated Google too, which is cool. So you can have, okay Google, turn on my cooled seat.
Got it. Turning on the seat cooling for the driver.
Thank you very much, Google. So that's nice. Maps is also built in, Google Maps, but I'm just running CarPlay now, wireless CarPlay with my phone in the charger there. And in the middle is a digital cluster that is reconfigurable. I have it on this energy mode now. You can have it pull up the map. There's a clean, simplistic view to it also. Very nice graphics. If you scroll around, there's like a rendered vehicle model. It's gorgeous. So just like on the GMC Hummer, where they have very nice graphics, also applied here on the Cadillac LYRIQ. In terms of other aspects of the interior, it's very open and spacious. Designing this from the ground up as a pure electric vehicle allowed for packaging and things with like the skateboard architecture, the Ultium, the huge flat load floor of all the batteries, to leave you with a lot of open space. There's no transmission tunnel or mechanicals here in the middle, so you have a massive open space. You can put a backpack, a camera bag, a purse, or something like that. The center console is pretty spacious, very nice, very comfortable, and very open and airy feeling. In terms of technology, there's also a lot of it. Super Cruise will be available on the LYRIQ. So you have the huge display here, which is the full hands-free driving on a supported freeway, which I've grown to really, really enjoy. I've tried it out in the GMC Hummer EV and the Cadillac Escalade V, the regular Cadillac Escalade. So Super Cruise is fantastic when you're on a long highway drive. We have massage seats, heated and cooled seats. We have a single paddle on the left here, which is for regen on demand. As an electric vehicle, you can use regenerative braking in addition to the actual friction brakes. And instead of just having a paddle where you can pull it and it just starts slowing the vehicle down, this is pressure sensitive. So you can actually modulate it as if you were modulating an actual brake pedal, and it gives you up to 0.35 Gs of slowing down. And I actually really like this. So you can lightly hold it, and as soon as you hold it all the way down, it's full 0.35 Gs of slowing down. And you can kind of calibrate how you're using it just like you would with your foot on a brake pedal. You can use that in conjunction with the one pedal driving too. I personally don't use one pedal driving as much because I don't spend all of my time in electric vehicles. If you do daily drive an electric car, you very quickly will calibrate using it, but going back and forth between gas cars and electric cars, it's kind of weird to me. I haven't been able to quite exactly get it, but it does have one pedal driving. You can turn it on and off in the screen. We also have various drive modes. I'm currently in Sport. There's Tour, Snow, Ice, and a My Mode, which allows you to fully configure everything from the steering feel to the response to the sounds that the speakers generate. In Tour mode, it's pretty normal, it's comfortable. In Sport mode, it wakes up a bit. So mid-range power is good. Again, this is the rear-wheel drive, which makes 340 horsepower. It's not quite as quick as I expected. Yes, you get the torque on demand, it's smooth, but it doesn't kind of give you that shove. And then if you want that, get the all-wheel drive model, because that's going to have close to 500 horsepower. So I assume it'll be a lot more potent. No news on if we're getting a V version or anything like that. But I've driven some other electric vehicles in the kind of space and segment that felt a little more zippy, is the word I use to describe that. No, it's a very unscientific word, but this is more luxurious and relaxed. It's quick. Passing power is totally fine. What really is remarkable to me about driving is how isolated this is. If I stop talking for a moment and I'm cruising at 55 miles an hour, 60, even up to highway speeds in the 70s, it's so silent. It rides very comfortably. It doesn't have magnetic ride dampers. It's conventional mechanically valved dampers, but it's tuned very well. Active noise cancellation is also very, very important with the AKG sound system. Not only does it sound great with the 19-speaker AKG sound system, they were also able to use that to cancel out the unwanted frequencies and the noises, right? This thing is very, very comfortable, very smooth. Cruising on the freeway, I was talking to a friend in the car when we were driving, and I actually said, this is like Mercedes S-Class level, like borderline Rolls-Royce silence in here. Like, it is very, very good. Isolated from the road, wind noise is pretty much not there even at freeway speeds. So this is flooring it from a stop in Sport mode. It doesn't have the same shove as you get in some of the other EVs, so I don't think they have it set up to be insanely aggressive. Now, the single rear motor, let's talk about some more of the technical aspects of the LYRIQ that we learned from the amazing engineering team and the other subject matter experts they had on site here for the LYRIQ Drive. The single rear motor, I mentioned 340 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque. That number is decent, The problem is I've been in some of the all-wheel drive ones, and because they got two of them, they'll make more overall torque, especially like into the 400s, and that's when you get more of that shove off the line. What GM does have going for it is they have the best chemistry in terms of density, power density in them. So this 100 kilowatt hour battery pack weighs about 1,000 kilograms is what we were quoted, and can do that 312 miles of range. That is definitely pretty impressive. And now some of the future potential opportunities with the technology and the way Ultium was set up. You can imagine a future where, let's just say, they make a huge breakthrough in battery chemistry, and they can just swap out these modules and maybe give you more range or lower the amount of modules needed. And the way the platform is set up, it allows for all of this. They can just add and remove a certain amount of modules to change the wheelbase length. For example, the Hummer EV SUV, I think, has 20 modules versus the 24 that are in the Hummer truck. So with that, it changes the amount of power that is able to supply, the range, and things like that, and just repackaging for different platforms. Also, torsional rigidity is up because that huge, heavy, large battery pack is structurally integrated with the whole vehicle. Again, designed from the ground up to be a pure electric platform, and is so much better than in the past when we were transitioning to this phase, when automakers had to kind of retrofit their existing platforms to kind of adapt them for an electric or hybridized setup. So from the ground up, it is much, much better. So the holistic experience in the LYRIQ, I'm impressed. This is the first pure electric vehicle from Cadillac, and they continue to evolve as GM, a brand overall. And it's such a different personality from the Hummer EV. The Hummer EV is a super truck. It is galactically fast. It is massive. The rear wheel steering is a giggle-inducing experience overall. Like, it's ridiculous. This takes Ultium and applies it in a completely different manner. Obviously towards luxury, refinement, but still, it just is the forefront of technology, luxury, space, and for the price, I'm pretty impressed. The debut edition here, which is already sold out for the first year, so they're taking pre-orders for 2024 now, but the debut edition, rear-wheel drive, pretty much fully optioned here, 60 grand starting price. Just under $60,000, like $59,990. That is quite impressive. And there'll be government incentives, all sorts of things. There's charging incentives too. You can get either 2 years of unlimited EVgo charging. And when I say unlimited, it's not restricted by mileage, by time, nothing. It's just, you get to charge as much as you want for 2 years. There's really advanced charging at home for the LYRIQ now. They give you this modular charger that is smart and can adapt, and you can just plug it into like your 240 volt dryer outlet or regular 110 volt, which then is very slow at charging. But it's all included with this vehicle. So from a value standpoint, I'm pretty impressed. It looks very, very eye-catching. The design is remarkable. It turns heads, people look at it. It is a Cadillac, but way modernized and is really pushing the envelope. So I think it looks really cool. The interior is one of my favorite parts of it, actually. Just the new design, the technology, the way it's all implemented together, the attention to detail. Like even behind the screen, the silver trim has this textured angular pattern. The wood trim is very nice. Fit and finish feels pretty good on this. The practicality is great. And just driving it, it's very comfortable, isolated, not a sporty application. This is not a sporty EV. I wouldn't consider this a Mustang Mach-E competitor or like a Model Y Performance or something like that. If that's what you're looking for, I would look to another vehicle. But if you want a luxurious daily driver EV with over 300 miles of range and a lot of the latest and greatest tech and luxury features, the LYRIQ is extremely compelling. So with that, that's our first review of the Cadillac LYRIQ. I'm very impressed already. I definitely want to try out the all-wheel drive model because I think that'll be even more impressive in terms of the acceleration and also the range of usability. Being able to have all-wheel drive in winter climates, hilly climates. We're in Utah. If it was snowy right now, all-wheel drive probably would be nice. That is going to continue to push the LYRIQ and eventually the Cadillac lineup into the full EV space. They will go full electric. They have fully stated their portfolio will be all electric vehicles. That's our first impression, first drive of the Cadillac LYRIQ. I look forward to spending more time with this and more GM Ultium vehicles. The dynamic between the Hummer and now this, and eventually there'll be more and more Silverado. There'll be more electric Cadillac, GM, Chevy, whatever vehicles on this platform. It's really cool seeing where this technology is going. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.